It was a quiet night. The house stood still, almost too still. The street outside was dark, and the wind was soft. Inside, a young mother walked slowly through the living room. Her husband had just left for a business trip earlier that evening. She was alone now, alone with her little daughter. The clock on the wall ticked slowly, each sound echoing in the silence. She picked up a cup from the table and sighed. The house always felt empty when her husband was away, but tonight the silence was different. It felt heavier. It felt strange. Her 6-year-old daughter sat on the couch, hugging her small pillow. She looked pale, and her eyes seemed to be lost in thought. The mother noticed and smiled gently. "Are you sleepy, sweetheart?" she asked. The girl shook her head. Her voice was soft, almost like a whisper. "Mommy, we have to run." The mother stopped. She thought she heard wrong. "What did you say?" she asked. The child looked straight at her, her eyes wide with fear. "We have to run. Now." A chill spread through the mother's body. She laughed nervously. "Run? Why?" "It's late, darling. We're safe here." The little girl grabbed her mother's hand tightly. Her small fingers shook. "No, Mommy. We are not safe. They are coming." The mother's smile faded. "Who is coming?" she asked. The girl whispered, "The shadows." Before the mother could answer, the lamp on the table flickered. Once, twice, then the light went out completely. The room was filled with darkness. The mother froze. Her heart began to beat faster. She pulled her daughter close. Then the light came back, as if nothing had happened. But the air in the room felt colder. "Did you see that?" the daughter whispered. The mother nodded slowly. She told herself it was only a power issue. But inside, she felt something was wrong. Very wrong. The daughter's eyes moved to the window. "They are already here," she said. The mother turned. For just 1 second, she saw something outside. A tall shadow moved across the curtains. Too tall to be human, she gasped and stepped back. Her breath became shallow. It's just a tree," she whispered, but even she didn't believe her words. The daughter shook her head. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "No, Mommy. They're not trees. They're watching us." The mother tried to stay calm. She grabbed her bag from the chair and held her daughter's hand. "Come. We're going upstairs." But before she could move, a sound came from the door. A slow, heavy knock. The mother froze again. Who could be outside at this hour? She didn't want to answer, but the knock came again, this time louder. The daughter pulled her hand. "Don't open it. Please, Mommy." The mother's hands shook as she reached for the lock. Her breath was quick, her mind confused. She wanted to believe it was only a neighbor, but then, before she even touched the door, the handle began to move. Slowly. On its own, the daughter screamed, "They're here!" And in that moment, the mother realized this night was not normal. It was the beginning of something terrifying. The handle stopped moving, but the silence that followed was worse than the knock. The mother stood frozen, holding her daughter's hand so tightly that the child winced. The only sound in the room was their heavy breathing. Then, the little girl whispered, "They know we're here." The mother shook her head quickly, as if denying her words could change reality. "No one is here." "It must be the wind," she said, but even she didn't believe her excuse. The house was locked, the night was still, and the sound had been too clear, too human, or maybe not human at all. The mother pulled the curtain slightly. Her hand trembled as she peeked outside. The street was empty. Not a single car, not a single person. Just shadows from the streetlight stretching across the road, but her daughter's eyes were locked on the glass. "Look closer, Mommy," the girl said softly, and then she saw it. A tall figure at the far end of the street. It didn't move like a person. Its body seemed too long, its arms hanging too low. And its head tilted unnaturally to the side, as if it had been watching them all along. The mother quickly shut the curtain. Her heart pounded so loud she thought the figure might hear it. "We're going upstairs," she whispered, forcing a calm voice she didn't feel. They moved quickly, step by step, up the staircase. The wooden stairs creaked under their weight. Each sound echoed in the silent house, but halfway up, the little girl stopped. Her small hand tugged her mother's sleeve. Her eyes were wide, staring at the top of the staircase. The mother followed her gaze. And then she saw it. A shadow moved across the hallway upstairs. Slow. Deliberate. As if something was already inside, the girl pressed her face against her mother's arm. "I told you. They are here." The mother wanted to scream, but no sound came. She whispered instead, "Stay close to me." EY reached the bedroom and shut the door. The mother locked it quickly, though she knew a simple lock would not stop whatever was out there. She pulled her daughter close and whispered, "Tell me everything. Why are you saying these things? How do you know?" The little girl looked at her with fearful eyes. "Because, Mommy, I saw them before." The mother blinked in shock. "When?" "In my dreams," the child whispered. "But they weren't just dreams. They were real. I saw this house. I saw this night. I saw the door opening. And I saw them." The room grew colder. The mother felt her skin prickle. "Dreams are not real," she said, but her voice cracked. The girl shook her head firmly. "These dreams are warnings. They come before the shadows arrive. Daddy didn't believe me, but I knew. I always knew." Before the mother could answer, the lights in the room flickered again. This time, they didn't come back on. The room sank into complete darkness. The little girl clutched her mother's hand tighter. "They're closer now," she whispered. From somewhere in the house came the sound of slow, heavy footsteps. Not from the door. Not from outside. But from upstairs, in the same hallway they had just walked through. Step, step, step. The sound moved closer to their room. The mother pulled her daughter into the corner, holding her tightly. Her breath was short, her body stiff with fear. She prayed the footsteps would stop, but they didn't. They came right to the door, and then the handle of the bedroom door began to turn. The door handle rattled again, slowly at first, then harder, as if someone or something was testing the lock. The mother pressed her hand against her daughter's mouth to keep her quiet. Both of them held their breath. The handle stopped. Silence filled the room. For a moment, the mother thought maybe it was over. Maybe it was just her imagination. But then, a new sound came. A scraping noise, like long nails dragging across wood. The sound moved across the door, slow and deliberate, scratching deeper into the wood with every pass. The girl whispered into her mother's ear. "They want you to open it. Don't listen. Don't look." The mother felt her chest tighten. She knew they couldn't stay locked inside forever. The air in the room felt heavy, and the shadows on the walls seemed to shift on their own. She made a decision. She whispered, "We're leaving. Now." The little girl nodded without hesitation, as if she had expected this moment. They opened the window carefully. The cold night air rushed inside. The mother helped her daughter climb out first, then followed quietly. They landed on the grass, crouching low in the dark. For a moment, the night felt calm. The street was silent, the stars hidden behind thick clouds. But the calm did not last. From the other side of the house, a strange humming sound began to rise, low and vibrating, almost mechanical but not human. The mother grabbed her daughter's hand and ran toward the street. The girl's bare feet slapped against the pavement, but she didn't complain. She only whispered, "Follow me, Mommy. I know where to go." The mother frowned, still running. How do you know? I saw it, the girl said. In the dreams. The safe place is not far. The mother wanted to ask more, but before she could, a bright light flashed above them. The night sky lit up. A huge, glowing craft floated silently overhead. It was not like a New York airplane she had ever seen. It was enormous, silent, and terrifyingly close. The mother pulled her daughter into the shadows of a tree. The light from the craft swept across the street like a searchlight, scanning the ground. When the beam touched the grass, the air shimmered, as if reality itself bent under its glow. The little girl clung to her mother. Don't let the light touch you. If it touches you, they will take you. The mother's heart pounded. She held her daughter tight and waited, praying the light would pass. But the beam stopped. It stopped exactly where they were hiding. The mother pulled her daughter and ran. The beam followed, burning brighter. The ground shook beneath them. She could hear strange clicking sounds echoing from the craft above, like an alien language. They turned a corner and ran into a narrow alley between two old buildings. For a moment, the light lost them. They crouched low, gasping for breath. The little girl whispered, "They are not just above us. They are on the ground too." The mother felt her blood run cold. She looked toward the far end of the alley. A tall figure stood in the darkness, its glowing eyes fixed on them. Another figure appeared behind them, cutting off their escape. The girl's grip tightened around her mother's hand. "We can't stop now. We must keep moving." The mother looked around, trapped between shadows and light. The aliens were closing in, and then, from the rooftop above, another beam of light shot down, flooding the alley in blinding brightness. Cliffhanger, the mother shielded her daughter's eyes as the shadows stepped closer, their shapes finally revealed. The light from above burned brighter, filling the narrow alley with a strange glow. The mother pulled her daughter against the wall, trying to shield her from the beam. But it was too late. 3 tall figures stepped into the light. They were not like anything from Earth. Their bodies were long and thin, their skin a dull gray that shimmered under the glow. Their eyes were large, glowing white, with no pupils at all. They didn't blink. They only stared. The mother's breath caught in her throat. Every part of her wanted to scream, but the little girl tugged her hand. "Don't look at their eyes, Mommy. If you do, you won't be able to move." The mother forced her gaze down, staring only at the ground. The figures moved slowly, unnaturally, as if their bodies bent in ways human bones could never bend. Their long arms reached toward the mother and child, but they didn't touch, yet she made a choice. With one sharp pull, she grabbed her daughter and darted into the darkness at the far end of the alley. The aliens hissed, a strange clicking sound echoing off the walls, and then they followed. The chase began. The mother ran as fast as she could, her bare feet slapping the wet pavement. The daughter ran beside her, guiding her through turns as if she already knew the way. The night was alive with strange sounds, hums from above, clicks from behind, and the heavy thud of inhuman footsteps. They turned another corner and ran into a row of abandoned houses. Windows were broken, doors left open, weeds growing through the cracks of the street. The mother pushed into one of the houses, slamming the door shut behind them. The inside smelled of dust and rot. She pressed her daughter against the wall and whispered, "Quiet." Through the broken windows, she saw them. The aliens moved silently across the street, their glowing eyes sweeping the darkness like flashlights. They were hunting. The daughter's voice was soft but steady. "They won't stop, Mommy. They will follow us everywhere." The mother's heart pounded. "How do you know this?" she asked. "Because they told me," the girl whispered. The mother's eyes widened. "Told you? When?" "In my dreams," the child said again. Her voice was certain. "But the dreams are not dreams. They are messages. They wanted me to warn you." The mother's body went cold. Before she could reply, the floor creaked loudly under her foot. She froze, but it was too late. The glowing eyes outside turned toward the house. The figures began moving closer, their footsteps heavy and slow, but unstoppable. The mother grabbed her daughter's hand. Upstairs, quickly! They climbed the broken staircase, careful not to fall. At the top, they found an old bedroom with a cracked window. The mother pushed it open, and cold night air rushed in, but before they could climb out, a shadow filled the window frame. One of the aliens was already there, staring in from outside. Its face pressed against the glass, its white eyes glowing brighter than before. The daughter clutched her mother tightly. Don't look, Mommy! Don't let it see you! The glass began to crack under the weight of its hand. Thin, long fingers pressed through the frame, stretching toward them. The mother backed away, her heart racing, her mind screaming for escape. The sound of more footsteps filled the house. They were surrounded. Cliffhanger, the window shattered, and the first alien stepped into the room. The alien stepped through the broken window, shards of glass crunching under its long, pale feet. Its body bent unnaturally as it entered, tall and thin, its glowing white eyes fixed on the mother. She pulled her daughter behind her, pressing against the far wall. Her chest heaved with panic, but the girl whispered, "Don't move. Don't breathe loud. They're only watching." The alien tilted its head, as if studying them. It raised one long arm, its fingers stretching far too long, almost touching the mother's face. She squeezed her eyes shut, fighting the urge to scream, and then, suddenly, the creature stopped. It lowered its hand and stepped back. Its eyes flickered, and without a sound, it turned and climbed out through the window again. The mother gasped in shock. Why didn't it attack? Why didn't it take them? The daughter whispered, "Because they don't want me. They want you." The mother's heart sank. "What are you saying?" she asked, but before the girl could answer, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed from downstairs. More of them were entering the house. The mother grabbed her daughter's hand and pulled her out of the room, down a hallway, and into another staircase that led back outside. They ran through the backyard, out into the open night again. The craft still hovered far above, its light sweeping slowly across the ground. The mother knew they couldn't keep running blindly. She needed answers. She needed to understand why this was happening. They slipped into their own house again from the back door, moving quietly. The mother led her daughter upstairs, straight into her husband's office. She had always known he kept secrets, locked drawers, late-night phone calls, strange files he never explained. Now, she needed the truth. She searched quickly, pulling open drawers, scattering papers across the floor. Her hands shook as she forced open a locked cabinet with a sharp pull. Inside, she found a small box. The daughter whispered, "That's it, Mommy. That's what they want you to find." The mother opened the box. Inside was a folded letter and a black and white photograph. The photo showed her husband standing with a group of men near a large, strange machine. In the background, blurred but visible, was the outline of something not human, tall, thin, glowing eyes. Her breath caught. Her husband had seen them before. He knew. She unfolded the letter with trembling hands. The handwriting was his. "If you are reading this, it means they have come. I tried to stop it, but it was too late. They will come for you, not for our daughter. There is something inside you they want. Something you don't understand yet. Forgive me for keeping the truth hidden. I had no choice. Jay." The mother dropped the letter, her eyes wide with fear. The daughter touched her hand gently. "I told you, Mommy. You're the one they're after." The mother shook her head. "No. That's impossible. I'm just a normal person." But deep down, something inside her whispered otherwise. Before she could think further, the entire house shook. A low humming filled the walls, rattling the glass windows. The lights flickered violently, the daughter's eyes filled with tears. "They know you found it. They're coming back." The mother picked up the letter again, her hands trembling. Her husband had known the truth all along. Cliffhanger. From outside the window, a glowing white face appeared in the darkness, staring directly at her. The glowing face outside the window did not blink. Its pale features pressed close against the glass, white eyes glowing brighter than before. The mother froze, clutching the letter in her hand. Her daughter held tightly onto her arm, whispering, "Don't look too long. They are reading you." The mother pulled the curtains shut, her heart racing. "Why me?" she whispered, almost to herself. "Why do they want me?" The little girl's eyes softened, as if she already knew. "Because you are not like other people, Mommy. You are different." The word stung. The mother shook her head. "That's nonsense. I'm just ordinary." The girl shook her head firmly. "No. You've always felt it, haven't you? The way lights flicker around you. The way you hear sounds no one else notices. That's why they're here. That's why Daddy left. He knew." The mother's chest tightened. Memories came rushing back, small, strange moments in her life she had always ignored. Lights that flickered only when she entered a room. Dreams that felt too real, too sharp. A constant feeling of being watched. Her daughter whispered again. "It's in your blood. That's why I could see them in my dreams. I get it from you." The mother dropped into a chair, her mind spinning. She stared at the letter in her hand. Her husband had known. He had left not just for a business trip, he had left because of them. Because of her. The humming outside grew louder. The floor shook. From above, a powerful beam of white light poured through the ceiling, dust raining down around them. The daughter pulled her mother to her feet. "We can't stay here. They know the truth is open now." Together, they ran out of the office and down the staircase. The house vibrated as if caught in a storm. Through the windows, glowing silhouettes moved across the lawn. The mother and daughter darted through the back door into the yard. The air outside buzzed with electricity. Above the treetops, the alien ship descended lower, its massive shape blocking out the sky. The girl pointed toward the forest. "That's where they want us to go. To the landing place." The mother shook her head. "No, we need to run away, not toward them." But the girl's eyes were steady, calm. "You can't run from them, Mommy. They are connected to you. You have to face them." The words chilled her, but deep down, she knew her daughter was right. Running had only brought them closer. They reached the forest edge. The ground trembled as the giant ship lowered between the trees. The ship's hull glowed with strange patterns, symbols that shifted like living light. The mother stared up in horror. "What do they want from me?" she whispered. The daughter squeezed her hand. "Not to hurt you. To test you. To see if you are ready." The mother looked down at her daughter in shock. "How do you know this?" The girl's voice was soft, almost otherworldly. "Because I hear their voices too. Through you." Before the mother could reply, the ship opened. A massive door slid apart with a deep rumble. A flood of blinding white light spilled into the forest, illuminating every tree, every shadow. Figures stepped out, tall, glowing, and more real than ever. They moved with slow grace, their bodies shimmering as if made of both flesh and light. Their eyes fixed directly on the mother, ignoring everything else. Cliffhanger. The ground split beneath her feet, and a strange energy surged through her body as the aliens raised their arms toward her. The forest glowed under the alien light. The huge ship hovered low, its humming sound shaking the ground like thunder. Trees bent under the pressure. The mother clutched her daughter's hand, but she felt something strange inside her, like electricity flowing in her blood. The tall alien figure stepped closer. Their eyes were white, bright as stars, and locked only on her. They ignored the child completely. Their long arms raised, and the humming grew louder, almost like a chant. The mother's knees weakened. She whispered, "What do they want from me?" Her daughter's small voice answered, calm but sad. "They are not here to take you, Mommy. They are here to awaken you." The mother stared at her in disbelief. "Awaken me? What are you talking about?" The girl's grip tightened. "You're one of them. Not fully human. Daddy knew. That's why he left. He was trying to protect you from the truth, but the truth was always inside you." The mother shook her head, trembling. "No. I was born here. I'm just me." But the energy in her body said otherwise. Her veins glowed faintly under her skin, light pulsing in rhythm with the alien ship. The figures moved closer, their eyes glowing brighter, reflecting in her own. The daughter whispered again, her voice almost like a command. "Don't be afraid. Accept it. If you fight, they will destroy us. But if you accept it, you might control it." The mother's breath quickened. She looked at the aliens, at their glowing eyes, at their long, thin hands reaching toward her. Her heart screamed to run, but her body felt bound by invisible threads, and then the moment came. The aliens raised their arms higher, and a beam of pure white light shot from the ship, engulfing her completely. She screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the light. Her daughter reached out, crying, "Mommy!" Inside the beam, the mother's body lifted from the ground. Her hair floated, her arms spread, and the light entered her veins fully. Every cell burned, every bone trembled, but she did not break. Instead, the burning slowly became power. Her eyes snapped open, glowing, white, alien. The figures bowed their heads slightly, as if recognizing her. For the first time, they spoke, not with mouths, but inside her mind. "You are the bridge. You are the blood we left behind. It is time." The mother gasped. Images filled her mind, of the past, of the stars, of humans long ago touched by alien blood. She understood now. She was part of that lineage. She was the key they had been waiting for. The light faded, and she dropped gently back to the ground. Her daughter ran to her, hugging her tightly. "Mommy, you're glowing." The mother looked at her hands. They shimmered with faint light, not human anymore. She felt stronger, faster, alive in a way she never had before. The aliens stepped back into the beam, their forms fading into the ship. The humming slowed, the trees stopped shaking. The ship rose higher, disappearing into the night sky. Silence returned to the forest. The mother held her daughter close. "It's over," she whispered. But her voice shook, because deep down, she knew it wasn't over. It was only the beginning. Her daughter looked up at her, eyes wide, almost shining with the same glow. "Mommy, I think I have it too." The mother froze. The truth hit her harder than the light ever did. Her daughter was not just a witness. She was part of it now. Final cliffhanger, the forest filled with a distant hum again, another ship approaching from the stars.